All right, this is the 1953 steering gear box rebuild. The one that I had a bad screw. That this is the standard screw that comes with the original Ford built kit. There's a keyway cut here in the screw that causes the gear lube to leak out. The screw here actually had a chip, so it was leaking, and someone had then put another nut on top of that. It didn't work. So there's a washer, a square washer that comes on the back that when you take it apart, you'll get a kit, and there's a washer here that you have to put. This is the new screw, the new bolt. I actually had to file this down and use some 400 grit emery paper to smooth that down so that it actually slides here within the section gear. This is the section gear. This actually, you check this for wear. This actually was fine. There was no pits. There's no wobble, so it means that the needle bearing is still good. I didn't take the pin out. The shaft itself is actually in good appearance. Had a little bit of some roughing of it here, but I went ahead and just used that 400 grit emery paper to smooth down. The rest of the shaft here is fine. If they're bad, you have to get them re-chromed at a machine shop. But otherwise, this one is good. It fits well back into the housing. In fact, all I did was change the seal. There's a race inside that you can't really get out. The one I have is in good appearance. The bushings that were here are actually in good shape, so I didn't take those out, but I did put a new oil seal in. So now I have, and then the kit has a new shaft. The steering wheel actually bolts to the end here. It goes up through the column. But my original one had some pitting, whereas my section gear did not. So this is going to be used. The other one I'll save as for a possible later rebuild. But for this being the original, I'm sorry, for the whole set being the original, actually is in pretty good appearance. Bushings here, these have to be hand reamed. I don't have to use them. The ones I actually have are in good appearance, so I will just save these for potential later future time. So I'm going to go ahead and put this back together, but part two. So this is the housing for the steering gear. So inside there's a race. I've put the bearing, I put grease on it to help it stick in place. Make sure you put it in the right position. This is going to slide up through there, and it will be loose initially. That helps hold it in place. There's another bearing that's going to sit in here. Again, make sure you put it in the right way. And then this bearing race goes in. It's a little snug. You gotta make sure you get it in the right, get it started the right way. I'll put some grease on the inside. All right, so the race has been placed. So the bearing, the race just kind of fits in there snugly. The kit will give you some washers. They're paper washers. The original ones that I had were, there's a series of 4. It looks like there's one thin one and 3 thicker ones. And these are the original ones. When the truck was built. I don't know if anyone ever got into the box, but They give you a bunch of washers. So it should be 1 thin and then 4 thick ones, based upon what I had pre-measured. There is this housing with the tubing inside. This goes up inside. It allows for the wire for the horn to go through the center of the drive shaft part for the steering wheel, and then this comes through. So the washers, paper washers, are going to go on this side as it goes up into the hole. And then there are four 1/2-inch bolts that go through that area. So that's going to slide. We got to get the washers on there first. And you may have to shim this differently based upon what the needs are, so that the worm gear and the shaft line up appropriately. So I'm just going to get this started with a nut. I'm going to start with a bolt. Be careful, these are just paper, so you don't want to tear them. I've already tore one of them accidentally. So this is just going to slide in there, and then I'll get this started just by hand. Go ahead and put the rest. Oh man. Oh, my bearing braces did not down all the way. Probably doing this on a bench top would be easier to do.